This video is going to provide an overview of the PMD Pro2 blended course, a course website that is using an application called NING, N-I-N-G. Each of you should have received an email with an invitation to join the NING, and probably you've already done that if you're listening to this recording. So the first thing that you'll do to get onto the course website is to type in PMD Pro2.ning.com, enter. You'll come up to the sign in screen, and here you should remember the ID that you used when you signed in and when you signed up, and the password that you have. I'm going to sign in with a member account that I set up with one of my emails so that you can see exactly what it will look like when you log on. So click on sign in, and this is what you'll see as the landing page. You're going to see this first tab icon on the top here called Home. Anytime you are anywhere in the course website, you can always get back to this page by clicking Home. Let me go ahead and explain that there are a row of tabs across the top, and as you put your cursor on at least the first four, you're going to see some drop-down items. I'm actually going to scroll up the screen so that you can be sure and see all of the items. So the first one is called PMTV. This is Project Management Tools video, and there are actually two ways that you can access these videos. If you click right on the PMTV link, it's going to take you to a YouTube channel playlist that will have all of the videos, and you can actually then just click on the videos and play them in any order that you want from YouTube. You'll see that I just clicked on one. This video is part of, and it opened up the YouTube account, and you're playing. And right now we've only got 4 videos that are on there. We will have 8 total. You can actually drop down, use the drop down menus and click on any of the videos. I haven't loaded the sites yet, but by the time the course begins, we'll have those available. Project Management Tool videos are designed to take you a little bit deeper and into some of the next steps. In other words, they don't just cover what's in the PMD Pro guide, but that they'll actually help you in application by pushing you a little bit further. And over the course of the 4 weeks, we'd like you to watch all of these videos. They're all between about 10 and 20 minutes, so they're very short. Secondly is a tab that's called Assignments. You can click on the Assignments button itself, and it will bring up a Word document that is actually stored on a Dropbox folder. You'll see it coming up here. We haven't populated this one yet. I'll have it done before the course begins, but basically you're going to have 4 assignments, and this first document will in general tell you what those assignments are. Then for each assignment you'll have a separate link that you can use for the sub-tabs. This one says Classroom. This is the button that you'll push to actually go to the virtual online classroom. I just clicked on it, and it's actually going to take us to what's called Blackboard Collaborate, and you will be doing this every Tuesday and Thursday when we have our classes. You don't need a password. All you're going to do here is just type in your name, and I suggest that you type in the name and also what organization that you work with and where you are, so that we can quickly see by looking at it that you are, what location you're at. It's going to require a Java application the first time you use it, so I suggest that you go ahead and log in right away. Of course, you won't find anyone else on the site when you log in until the class begins, but you should see something like this. And then you can do something that's very, very important. You see this icon here of a microphone with a star on top. You can click on that, and you'll get what's called an audio setup wizard, and that will take you through a set of menus to have you check your microphone and speakers. You can also get to that menu by clicking on Tools, going to Audio, and doing Audio Setup Wizard. There actually is a link on how to use the Blackboard Collaborate, so be sure and look for that. I'll mention it in a little bit. I'm going to close this down now because I need to get back to explain what the other tabs are. Okay, sub-tabs then under Classroom are the recordings. Each day that we have have an online class, and there'll be 8 of those, 2 per week, 1.5 hours each. We will record the classes. Now, the recordings are not a replacement or a substitute for coming to the class live, because we need to have you there for a lot of interaction. So if you click on one of these now, you won't get anything, because the recordings won't be in there until after the class is over. They should be in there within a couple of hours after each class is over, so that you can come back and review. And if for any reason, illness or unavoidable travel or work, you need to listen to the class instead of attending it live, then that's the way that you can go about it. This tab is called Review Modules, and some of you already know about these. These are self-study modules that you can go through in order to review what's in the PMD Pro. We normally use these for the PMD Pro 1 course. And you can go down here to the first link and click on how to download the modules, and it will take you to a website, a page that will actually show you how you can get these modules onto your own computer if you want. It comes from a program within Lingos called Last Mile Learning, so you'll see all of the instructions there. The other thing that you can do is you don't have to download them. You can actually click on any one of these 7 links. I'm just going to choose implementation. Click on that, and it will actually take you to the video, and you can run it online without having to take the time to download it. Now, just let me let you know that there's no sound with these. They're totally reading and visuals, so you just will do things like what I'm doing right now is ready to begin, and then you'll see that each of the sections that are in that module for that phase, implementation in this case, will show up on the screen. So you can use those at your own discretion. Now, remember, these were not done with PMD Pro2 in mind. They were done with PMD Pro1, but the knowledge is the same. And as you'll hear more and more as we go forward, PMD Pro2 is focusing a lot more on application. This tab is members, and that's just like it sounds. If you click on that, you'll take you to the member page of the NING, and you can communicate with other people in the class. You can also get some information on them. Let me just open up Grace. We want everyone to have a picture on, because just like we can see Grace here, it gives us a much more personalized feel and helps to simulate what we're doing in the class. If I wanted to, I could send Grace a message by clicking here, and then we could be in touch with each other. Then this one is called My Page, because this is actually where your own information is going to be. And then finally, the last one is if you wanted to invite someone. I don't really think you're going to be using that link. Okay, so now I'm going to hit home button, home tab, and that'll take us back to the home page. And I'm going to talk about now what's on the screen. If you look in the very, very left column, you're going to see what's called key links. And there are 3 kinds of links: links to documents, links to websites, and links to videos. And you'll need all of those. The first one is just a course description that you click on and then open it up. This is just the description that was on the Lingos website. So that's just in case you wanted some more information. The second one then is the draft course timetable, and it says draft because we have not yet finalized it. There's still going to be some updates, so please look for the updated version, and it will look something like this in terms of the slide that will come up. It's divided into 2 pieces: course schedule, weeks 1 and 2, with the online classes, and then topics, suggested readings, the PMT, PM Tool video that you should watch for that week, the assignment that's to be done that week, the online tutorial topics, and then the external readings. And then there's the course schedule for weeks 3 and 4. This button here is the PMD Pro guide. That will open up to the guide itself. I won't do that in the demonstration, but it's really good if everyone has access to that and can print out a copy. The PMD Pro facilitation team will give you a Word document that shows the 3 people who will be doing the primary instruction. That will be myself, Roger Steele, the CEO of Lingos, Eric Berg, and John Cropper, who's the director of the Project Services Division. And then finally, we're ready to go into the links to websites. This one is extremely important, the PMD Pro2 practice exam. This is where you're going to go to be able to find what they call the sample or practice exam. It's where you will also go to purchase an exam at the end of the course and actually to start the exam that will be your final exam. And then if you have problems, to resume the exam and then Invigilator log in. I'll show you some information on that later. But in the beginning of the course, you only need to know sample PMD Pro2 examination, and then that will take you to this page. If you click a couple of buttons after reading, you'll eventually get to start the examination, and it will actually show you the first question, and then it goes all the way up to 75. And then there's links to videos. This one is the one I'm doing right now, overview to class site. So if you want to be able to review this video again, you can click on that once I post. I'm going to do another video. It's not done yet. It's to be added later. Overview of course and schedule. There is then a video on how to use the online classroom. Actually, that's a document, so I'm going to be moving that up into the documents section. That's a good one to read. And then here are 3 videos that you'll need to know about when you are finished with the course and ready to take the examination. How to purchase an exam using a credit card from APMG, which is the organization that gives you the exam. How to register then once you are ready to take the examination, and then how to validate the exam as an invigilator. We'll probably add some more links over here and rearrange some of these, so be sure and check on those as we move forward. Now, this center column is extremely important. This is where any activity that occurs on the course website will appear, and the latest activities will always be first. So it's a good thing when you log on to have a look at what has been added since you logged on the last time. It's also the point of communication, so you're able to ask a question or make a comment. So I'm just going to say, is this video helpful? So that's just a question to show you how it works. Then all I'll do is just do share, and then it'll show up on the latest activity there. If you wanted to comment on this and say, give me an answer to that, then you would just click on that, is this video helpful? And then you can just type in and say, yes, this video was helpful. And then you just hit share, and that will again go back to the home page, and you'll see that that then has showed up. Now, the other thing that you could do, and you probably should do this, is actually do it as a comment. So just say, yes, it was helpful, and then your comment will actually show up with a thread. Let me try sharing that, and that's a better way of doing it, because now you're going to see, when I go back to the home page, you're going to see that then what you put in actually is attached to what you're commenting on. So that's a great way to communicate between participants and with the facilitators, and that will be used a lot during the course. Finally, over on the right, I just think that's for information purposes. There's really nothing there that is pertaining to the course. So let me encourage you to ask questions using this, or Skype me, email me, or any of the other instructors if you have any questions. But this is your Course Central. This is where you should come to keep yourself updated, answer questions, communicate for the course.